Hello there, Purple Banditos! Welcome back to more Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D. I'm PurpleRodri. Last time we began Snowhead Temple. In today's episode, we're going to continue our adventure right where we left off. We had just obtained the fire arrows by defeating the mini-boss. Today, we're going to hopefully try to obtain the boss key and make our way to the boss's lair. So let's go ahead and continue right where we were then. Hope you guys are having a nice day as I am. As I mentioned to you guys last time, I actually woke up very early today. So it's a little bit of a strange feeling to be up at this time, about and running around and about, or whatever it is that they call it these days, or days, I guess you could say. Yeah, it's been a while for me. But let's go ahead and actually make our way into this room then. There's quite a bit we need to do. There's actually going to be a lot of hidden fairies, as I mentioned to you guys last time with the Eye of Truth. So make sure that you guys have this on you. I mean, I don't think you could make it here without having it on you, but make sure that you guys are actually using it to obtain all the fairies. You're probably better off just walking into a room, getting your Eye of Truth going, then just getting all the fairies that are spread around this place. There's gonna be a fairy pretty much in every single room in this dungeon, so there is quite a lot of them to collect. Let me go ahead and actually continue onwards though. I believe that I'm doing things right. If you guys remember, we actually took this little bit of a loop last time, so let's go ahead and actually make our way back here to this loop, just to come back kind of where we came from. You should be able to fully charge any ramp that you go on, by the way, as long as there's snow on it. So we're back in the room with the switches. There's actually a little bit we need to do here. Now that we do have the fire arrows, it's gonna make this temple a heck of a lot easier. If you guys remember, we actually had to do a lot with the candles last time, so we'd always have to shoot an arrow through candles or something of that sort. But now that we actually have the fire arrows, it makes it a heck of a lot easier to do pretty much everything in this whole dungeon. The first thing you want to go for is the fire arrows. I'm telling you right now, it's just gonna make everything so much easier on you. You don't even have to do all these crazy different angles to shoot all these different fires or do everything that's needed. You can honestly just shoot a fireball at an ice block. Who would have thought that would work? But let's go ahead and actually pick up some of this stuff. Well, you know what? I should probably finish off this wolf. What am I even doing? I should definitely finish this guy off before I continue any further along, or I might just end up getting myself into a bit of trouble. I actually don't want to die in this dungeon. That's the goal, not dying in this dungeon. Now, that sounds a little bit difficult, but I think we'll be able to do it if I can just, keep it together here. Let me go ahead and actually push this block. We need to get that treasure chest that was up there, so that's actually what I'm going for. You need to do this a couple times, it seems like. Let's go ahead and open this chest up then, and with that, guys, we have gone ahead and got ourselves our 7th stray fairy. So there is still quite a bit of stray fairies to go. I'd say we're about halfway there, but let me go ahead and actually push this block a little more. There's actually a couple different uses for this block, which is really cool. I know, I can't believe that this game would just make something of that sort. A puzzle where you have to use different elements multiple times. That's actually kind of a little bit Zelda-esque, but let's go ahead and continue on. The big thing that I think is going on right now that I've been thinking a lot about, maybe this is partially why I woke up this early, is because Star Wars comes out tonight at midnight, and now I actually have tickets with Mo to go at 10:30 tonight, so it should be pretty exciting. I'm a big Star Wars fan, if you guys didn't know. I can't land this at all, though. What the fudge? Maybe I need to push this block a little further. But as I was saying, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I've watched everything in the Star Wars franchise. I'm a big fan of it. I've played through the games. I've done it all. I really enjoy it, and I'm really excited to see what this new story is going to be about. I feel like they've kept everything in the down low lately. So, the way they've been doing this is just kind of they've shown a couple main characters, but they haven't really revealed anything too crazy yet. So you really aren't too sure what this whole storyline is gonna be, or what kind of crazy stuff is actually going on. I'm trying to stay as spoiler free as I can to make sure that I can go into the theater and have quite an enjoyable experience. Let me go ahead and actually go back into this room, by the way. That is 9 fairies. Pretty much what I'm trying to do, by the way, guys, is just collect all the fairies and make sure that I'm getting everything that we need to. So if I end up kind of just rambling off, it's because I'm in my head kind of trying to make sure that I get everything forest that we need. As I was saying though, it's pretty freaking cool, you know, that they're releasing a new Star Wars. I still remember when they first announced that they were going to be releasing this new trilogy. I think it was a couple years back, but it's also crazy to think that now we're back at the point, like today, we're here with, you know, it being released. It's insane how fast time flies. You know, at one time you're having this huge announcement about, you know, this crazy franchise and how there's going to be 3 new movies, and now they're actually being released, and it just feels like, wait, weren't these just getting announced yesterday? But so much time has passed by without you even recognizing it that, you know, it's already here, and it's kind of exciting. In a way, I guess you could say we kind of time traveled there, because now all of a sudden we're like, yeah, okay, cool, the movie's here. We don't have to wait at all for anything. We also got ourselves a small key, by the way. Make sure you pick that up. Let's go ahead and continue on into this room then. And as I was telling you guys, it is just pretty cool if you think about it, you know, how great it is that nowadays movies are so much more simple to make. Well, I mean, they're probably not more simple, but that we get them out at a faster rate. I think usually, you know, if you guys are a big fan of Avengers, kind of like I am, we get about 1 movie a year. I'd say that's pretty good, considering, you know, these guys take so long and do so much work and so much graphical design. So it's kind of cool to see that, you know, their turnout is just like about a year on this crazy movie with all these crazy graphics and all these sorts of things. You know, it's just kind of cool to think about some of these things once in a while. Now, I believe this is the room where we actually have to be, if I am right. There's still quite a bit for us to do. I've actually been thinking of how much we have left in this temple, and there we have it. We lit all 3 torches, and with that, guys, you should be able to, you know, do your freaky deaky thing, knock out anybody that you need to, and you'll be great to continue on. By the way, this is once again just for random chests. So some of these things that sometimes you have to do, you know, you're like, why are there 3 torches randomly spread around this area? And it's probably gonna be, you know, for a stray fairy or a small key. So just make sure that you guys get this done. Let's go ahead and open up this chest then. And with that, guys, we have obtained our 10th stray fairy. So we have not that many to go. This has actually been pretty simple of a temple, but as I mentioned to you guys, mother fudger, I'm pretty good and practiced, so I pretty much know what it is we need to do. Some of these temples just come to me by memory now because of how many times I've actually played through Majora's Mask. I remember back in the day when I was in high school, I know I probably shouldn't even tell you guys this, I used to be like a teacher's assistant, and I would always like, you know, they pretty much give you a computer and you don't have to do much. I don't know. In high school, there wasn't a whole lot to do as a teacher's assistant, so what I would do is just like sit there and play through games. I think I defeated, I don't know, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, a bunch of Mega Man games, you know, a bunch of random games like that. I feel like I ran through so many of them that, you know, I'm pretty good in, and I mean, it's been a while since I played through them, but I feel like I learned a lot playing through them because I had the chance to play them kind of by myself, kind of just doing my own thing while I was sitting there as a teacher's assistant. If you guys ever get the chance to become like a teacher's assistant or like professor's assistant once you get to college, I mean, once you get to college, I'm guessing it's going to be a lot more serious, but in high school, it was pretty laid back and awesome, I must say. It was quite a lot of fun, especially when, you know, it was an engineering class, by the way, so there were a bunch of computers and things spread around, and had a bunch of friends in there that were also gamers, so a lot of the time we'd hop on there together and just play through a bunch of random things, which is also pretty cool. With that, guys, we have now elevated the middle of this whole temple. As you can see, there are blue little plates on them, and now these blue little plates are the main reason why we have been doing everything with the switches. We actually have to knock those plates out. I know, it's a little bit weird. It's a little bit weird if you've never played through Zelda before. We actually have to knock those blue plates out in order to, I guess you could say, balance out that middle structure, or just get it to where we want it to be. So that's the main strategy of this game, is pretty much just to get this whole thing in the center balanced out so we can continue into, you know, any other room that we need to. Now let me actually figure out where it is we need to go. I'm just sitting here zoning out for a second because of how difficult this is. I remember being a kid, I actually had a little book guide, so whenever I got really stuck, I would just use that for help. I don't know if, I think I still have it, just for decoration purposes. It was one of those like purple guides for the N64. I don't know if you guys remember it. I think it was like an exclusive Nintendo guide or something, and it had like everything on it. I remember just reading through that guide just hundreds and hundreds of times because of how much I enjoyed this game. I would just sit there and learn about the characters and little things like that, and you know what, it also helped out with developing a pretty good sense of this game. Now I'm actually just a little bit confused here. I'm trying to figure out where it is I need to go. I think I've actually figured it out. You know, once in a while, you have a little bit of a blonde moment where you're not sure where the heck it is you need to go. So you know what, guys? It's okay. You know, sometimes I zone out a little bit. Sometimes I'll have moments in this game where it feels like I know exactly what it is that we're doing, but sometimes I have these moments where I just need a little bit of a second to think. I'm actually getting pretty good at that, though, so I think this is the right area. Let's go ahead and make our way up here, then. As I told you guys, today I'm pretty much gonna try to do the big bulk of this temple. So I'm gonna try to pick up all the items that we need. Oh, there. Okay, so the big eye is something that I forgot. I knew there was something in this room that I totally forgot about. This actually makes the platform go up and down. So if you guys haven't done that yet, definitely something you should do. I think this was the main part that I was missing. Now, this is what I mentioned to you guys before, where there's these two big blue blocks of ice. This is what we actually need to knock out. So let me just go ahead and roam around the corner, and we will be able to knock them out. So let's go ahead and actually see if we can do this afterwards, after we go ahead and actually run this down right here. So let's go ahead and make our way upwards. Now, there's still a couple things that we need to obtain here. So you know what? You don't want to just go bashing into things immediately. Just want to make sure you double check everything and know what you're doing. So let me go ahead and actually head inside of this room. We do have the key, so we are pretty much good to go. There is going to be a couple things in here that you're going to need your lens of truth for, so just be on the lookout for that. I've mentioned it to you guys a few times, so just, you know, be ready. Definitely use it. Let's go ahead and equip the lens of truth then, and there we have it, guys. We are good to pop some of these fairies. Very nice. So with that, guys, we are going to go ahead and obtain what I believe was our 12th fairy. We have 3 more left to go. Don't forget these. These are some of the ones that people forget. We're actually very, very close to finishing up this dungeon. I mean, I would say about halfway, not crazy close, but we're doing quite good. So let's go ahead and actually shoot down these arrows then. And with that, guys, we are able to continue onwards into another floor. I'm actually super excited to get to this boss dungeon. I think it's going to be quite a bit of a good time once we actually take these down. The boss in this dungeon probably has to be one of the most fun bosses that you have the chance to take on in any Zelda game. I think this is one of those bosses that you just go up against and you're just like, whoa, this is so freaking cool. This is one of the weirdest bosses I've had to go up against. The strategies you have to go up against them are so freaking strange, but it just makes it so much fun. I don't know. I can't even imagine what my first thoughts were as a kid, probably playing through this dungeon and doing all these crazy things. I must have just been thinking a lot of crazy stuff. There we go. We got the 13th one. I must have been like, it must be pretty insane. We got the 14th one as well. Let's go ahead and make our way in here then, and we're actually looking very good to wrap things up. Now, there's only a couple of things left, as I mentioned to you guys. We're going after the big boss key and hopefully all the fairies today, but we're actually headed inside of here to take on this guy one more time. You know, we might get something special out of this. There is a reason why they make you take on the same boss multiple times. I think it's just to show you, like, hey, this is kind of what's going on now, but be careful. This guy is actually a little bit tougher this time around. As you can see, he can freeze us, so just make sure you try your best to avoid the freeze, and, you know, you might be better off than I am. I'm actually doing pretty good so far, but he's already on his second stage. I guess this guy evolved pretty quick. He moved on very quickly to another stage. That's why it's good to have the fire arrows. There he is right up there. I should be able to get him. There we have it, guys. So this is actually very, very simple so far. I think about 1 or 2 more hits, and this guy should be done. Just run around and look for him, and you should be able to knock him out. He is very, very simple once you find the main one. And there we have it, guys. Super easy to take this guy down. Just use the fire arrows. And with that, we have opened another door. I wonder what is going to be on the other side of this door, though. Is it going to be something that we need? Is it going to be something special? With that, guys, we have gone ahead and opened up the boss key. We are ready to go into the boss's lair. And with that, guys, we got ourselves the boss key. Very exciting times. We got the boss key now. We are almost done with all the fairies. We're looking good to continue onwards. I'm actually very, very proud that we made it this far, and I'm actually excited to wrap things up here. Let me go ahead and see if I can finish off a couple more things. Now, as I mentioned to you guys, there's still a couple fairies left to go, so this is actually something that you guys are going to have to do in order to make sure you complete this dungeon. Just make sure you get them, all right? Make sure you guys get them. It makes it a lot more fun when you have all these crazy upgrades in Majora's Mask. If you guys have probably played through Majora's Mask before, the upgrades are just insane. The OP-ness of these little power-ups are pretty freaking crazy, so they're worth picking up. Okay, let me go ahead and figure out where exactly it is I need to go. I believe it is back this way now. Yes, this looks like the right way. If you guys remember, this is where we actually last, lit this fire up so we can make our way upstairs. So now we are actually back here to where we can crush these two log thingies. I don't even know what to call them. Ice cube platforms. With that, we knocked out 2 of them, which is actually going to open up a little more for us too, which is really, really great. Now, this temple actually seems a lot easier now that I'm playing it a little bit older. I feel like as a kid, you were always like, this temple is so insanely hard. But nowadays, it's just like, hey, I've played through this a few times. I'm actually half decent at this game. Let me give myself some credit and make my way through here. And there we have it, guys. So very nice. I think that's all we have to do here with the ice. So let's go ahead and make our way back to, oh, whoa, we're actually here. This is actually it. Holy crap. That was really quick. I feel like I just keep thinking like there's a lot more for us to do. Let me go ahead and actually jump down though. This was one of those things that I mentioned to you guys. I didn't realize this was gonna be it. With that, guys, we went ahead and actually obtained our 15th fairy. So with that, guys, we found all the stray fairies. This is gonna be the hardest fairy for you to get, by the way. Just do it the way I did it. I usually do it right before I go into the boss's dungeon, since there's not really a point to, doing it at any other time. This is the easiest way to get it. So I highly suggest this is how you go about it. Where exactly is it? All right, let me go ahead and actually go back over here so we can make our way back to the top. I can't believe we got through this dungeon so quick. I really wasn't prepared for it, and it's very exciting. With that, guys, it looks like next time we will actually be making our way a little deeper and deeper into this dungeon as we progress into the boss's lair, which I'm very excited for. So make sure you guys give this video a like. It is much appreciated. It really is. Let me go ahead and actually jump over there then. And with that, guys, we are ready to take on the boss. As I was saying, make sure you guys give this video a like. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Goodbye.